welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am so excited that you are here and I hope that you are having an absolutely fantastic morning, afternoon, or night, whatever it is for you when this video finally reaches you. Today, we are diving into yet another paranormal game that has been circling around the internet and more specifically on TikTok. Now, when I started digging through how people are playing this game, and I put it in quotations because we'll get there, but this game/ritual is incredibly dangerous and should not be played unless you are made aware of what it is that you are actually doing. But as I said, we will get there in a moment. As I was reading how people are playing this, my jaw quite literally almost fell to the floor because I was shocked that people are not only willingly playing this game or doing this ritual, but are promoting it to others as a way to get and fulfill your deepest desires. The internet is an interesting place, and when things tend to trend or start to go viral, a lot of people tend to hop on said bandwagon. But when this game was brought to my attention, I felt as though it was important for me to talk about this game/ritual and why it is so dangerous, even though I think some of you watching this are going to be like, who in their right mind would play this as a game? But as I said, we'll get there in a moment. Now, before we get into today's video though, I would just very quickly like to thank today's video sponsor, Scentbird. Scentbird is a fragrance subscription service that gives you the opportunity to shop from over 600 brands. It is a flexible subscription though, so you are able to skip any months without any penalties, and Scentbird is now available in the USA and Canada. With Scentbird, you can choose a new designer fragrance to try every single month for just $16. And you get to pick what you want, so there's absolutely no surprises when it comes to what you're getting. Scentbird has perfumes, colognes, and a ton of unisex options as well. Now, Scentbird carries top designer brands, and all of their scents are 100% authentic. Now, something that I really love about Scentbird is that with each fragrance, you get a 30-day supply, so you're able to test out that scent without the full commitment of a full-size bottle. Another thing that I absolutely love is that you can head to Scentbird's fragrance recommendation quiz, and based off your previous purchases and the quiz, they'll be able to set you up with a fragrance that you will absolutely love. Now, with Scentbird, you can try high-end fragrances for just $16. However, with my code, you will get your first month for just $11. The scents that I received this month were Dolce&Gabbana Light Blue, Goodhabit Align, and Catherine Malandrino Botte de la Vie Transcendent. Now, I absolutely love Dolce&Gabbana Light Blue, so if you guys have yet to try it, this is the perfect chance for you to try it. It's like my favorite scent ever, so yeah. So make sure that you use my code Reese too. I will have a link at the very top of my description, and you will receive 30% off of your first month, making it just $11 for your first month. So thank you so much to Scentbird for sponsoring today's video and for helping me find my dream fragrance. And with that being said, let's get into today's absolutely terrifying game. Alright, so I personally have a little bit of a bad habit of occasionally, first thing when I get up or right before I go to bed, scrolling through social media and more specifically, TikTok. I don't know what it is about TikTok, but I can scroll there for so long that 90% of the time I get those people popping up telling me that it's probably time to go get a drink of water or, you know, walk around or do something productive, but that is a whole other story. I'm pretty sure I've shared that with you guys before. Anyways, a couple of days ago, I was doing this and it was early morning and I actually came across a paranormal TikTok of people warning about this ritual that people are playing and promoting on TikTok. Now, the interesting thing about this was that I went to search like rituals and things into my TikTok search to see if I could find people playing the game, but I wasn't able to, and so I kind of decided just to brush it aside and just keep scrolling through the app. The following day, I received a DM from one of you guys on Instagram basically detailing how people are playing this ritual and what people are doing, and the fact that they thought that I should shed some light on why this is absolutely dangerous. So here, first and foremost, is how people are doing said ritual. So as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, the main purpose of this game slash ritual is to receive and bring forth your deepest desires. So to start out this game, it said that you need to really sit down and think about what you desire most. Is it money? Is it fame? Is it success? Is it love? They say that you only get one shot to ask for what you want to ask for. So the very first step of this ritual is to really think about what it is you want. What most people on TikTok are doing this for is money or is recognition. So views on things or fame in whatever industry they want to go into. Once they've decided on what it is they desire, they need to spend a whole evening praying to whatever will listen. Supposedly, you're supposed to get down on your knees and beg that an entity come forth to grant you this wish. Supposedly, you are meant to specify that you don't care where they come from or what they are, just that they're willing to do a trade-off with you. That night, you're supposed to go to sleep and see what comes forward in your dreams. If you have a horrifying nightmare, you're supposed to proceed with caution. And if you dream or have a regular night, then you're in the clear and you are good to go. Following evening, what they're doing is grabbing a piece of paper and essentially drafting up an informal contract with whatever being they summoned the night before. So in this contract, they're supposed to say their full birth given name and their date of birth, and they're supposed to say exactly what it is that they want. Here's where it reminds me a little bit of the ritual that we last talked about here on my channel, but basically at this point they're supposed to find some sort of living being, whether that's a bug or whatever they can find that is small and living and won't get them into trouble for what they are about to do. They are then bringing this bug next to their paper and they're smushing the bug onto the paper, and next to it writing that this is a sacrifice they're willing to give in exchange for said desire that they're looking for. Following smushing the bug and saying that the bug is a sacrifice, they are then grabbing some sort of a pin, pricking their finger, squeezing their own blood out, and then smushing that onto the paper as well, stating that this blood binds them to said entity. At this point, they've now smushed the bug onto the paper and said that the bug was a sacrifice, and they've now put their blood and claimed their blood is binding them to said entity. Following this, they go into great detail of what exactly they want in return for them essentially giving themselves and this living being to whatever entity they've called forward. At the end of the letter, they proceed to say that they will give more offerings from both themselves and more bugs in the following 3 days after they do this whole ceremony thing. The following 3 days after, they have to give a piece of themselves again to the paper, either taping it to the paper or sticking it into the paper, whatever they should choose to do. And they have to kill a bug onto that paper again every single day for 3 days. So basically, the first day they smush the bug and then they prick their finger and they're putting the blood. The following day after that, they either give a lock of their hair or a fingernail and offer up another bug. The day after that, another piece of them, and then on that third day, so now you're 4 days into offering things, they are once again putting their blood onto the paper. At this point, they are repeating a little poem that I'm not even gonna bother reading. And in this poem, they're basically saying that in lighting this paper, it is solidifying this contract that they've drafted up, and that means that their deepest desires will be coming. Now, in this poem, there's a line in it where they literally say they are giving themselves in exchange for blank. So whether it's fame, love, money, whatever it is that they're asking for, and then they proceed to burn the paper, release it outside, and wait for their fortune. Now, this isn't the most popular trend. It's not something that's fully trending, but I did get a couple of DMs from people saying that they've seen certain small creators posting about how their TikTok went viral after they did this, posting about how they suddenly got some unexpected money in, etc., and encouraging their viewers to play this game slash ritual. just started thundering. Oh my gosh. And that is basically the end of the ritual. So to walk you through it again, basically the summary of it all is that you have to have a deep desire. You call forth any entity, specifying that you don't care whether they're from light or darkness, yada yada. And then you give your blood, your fingernail, your hair, and multiple innocent bugs to said entity. You burn it, and then you release it out, and you wait for your TikTok fame or your money to come in. This sounds so dangerous to me. I have said it so many times here on my channel, you guys, but paranormal games are never truly games, even if they are games, if that makes sense. I've said it a million times, but when you go knocking on the door of the unknown, on the door of the supernatural and paranormal, you have no idea what is going to answer. And if you're not careful, something could form an attachment to you that you will be praying and wishing never did. Now, when these games cross a severe line for me personally, and from what I've learned in my many years of researching this stuff, is when you start offering your own blood or your own self. In this game, you are stating your birth given name, your date of birth, and you are putting your blood onto a piece of paper stating that it binds you to whatever entity you've called forward. Now, to play devil's advocate here, does this mean that every single person who does this is going to bring forward a dark entity? I mean, absolutely not. With any of these things, there are plenty of people who perform rituals and play paranormal games and nothing happens. But where I get really worried is that somewhere someone is going to play this game or ritual hoping to get some extra cash or views, and something is going to take advantage of that. And once you open that door, it's a lot harder to close than you could even imagine. As I mentioned, I tried to personally search this game and I couldn't find anything on it. I also didn't see the name of it. I just knew that it's meant to manifest your darkest desires through said entity. I got the rules from the Instagram DMs that I was sent, but I haven't actually seen anybody playing it. So I don't know where it originated from or how many people are actually playing this. All I know is that it sounded so dangerous to me, and I felt the need to talk about it. Now, when I talk about these things, I do want to remind you, as I was saying, that just because I think it's dangerous, just because it's something that I would never play, each and every person is able to make the choices for themselves. I would just advise anybody who wants to do a ritual of this nature in exchange for fame and fortune to really consider what the consequences of this could be, and to make sure that you know how deep it goes when you are offering your blood to an unknown entity. But that is basically the ritual / game that some people are playing. And I would love to know your guys' thoughts and opinions on this, and if you've heard of it. But that is basically it for today's video. Once again, I would just love to thank Scentbird for sponsoring today's video. As I mentioned, you guys can click the link at the very top of my description and use my code Reese2 to receive 30% off of your first month, making it just $11 for your first month. And thank you so much to Scentbird for sponsoring. If you guys are new to my channel or you are just not yet subscribed but you do enjoy my content, I would seriously love it if you would go ahead and click that subscribe button. And please give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Remember, my loves, do all things with kindness, and until next time, I love you.